Welcome to the enchanting world of interior design, where creativity is the one that turns every space into a work of art. It's a brand new series of Design for You trends with me, Pilani Bubu, where I'm looking forward to sharing gorgeous spaces with you through the lens of some of our favorite designers and influencers. We have all the inspiration that you need to tackle that next home makeover as we unveil some of the fundamentals of interior design. Today on Design for You Trends, we explore the home of fashion designer Mzukisi Mbane, founder of Imprint ZA, and see how he's brought his signature style into his home interior. Then we dive into the trendy world of social media to draw inspiration on how to create striking wall murals and feature walls. We close off with Cameron Collectives with Cecil Cameron walking us through a home that exudes a bold and alluring lush dose of sophistication. We are always intrigued by the lifestyle choices of some of our local creatives, media personalities and influencers. And this season we took that curiosity to task as we paid a visit to some of our favorite personalities. An all-access pass, a glimpse into their stunning interiors and a taste of some of their favorite design styles. This week we paid a visit to Mzukisi Mbane. Take a look. Mzukisi Mbane, the South African fashion designer of the brand Imprint ZA. He's made a name for himself with these striking contemporary African patterns that blend the modern and traditional. Born and raised in Khayelitsha, Mzukisi is a self-taught fashion designer. His brand is driven by its key ethos to leave a mark, which speaks to always believing in oneself, taking calculated risks, and pushing the boundaries. Mzukisi's showcased his designs on various runways and has gained recognition both locally and internationally. Mzukisi, I must tell you that I've been really excited to meet you because I've been watching your style for years. And the prints that you make, that you print yourself, have been really intriguing and interesting. What I'd be really interested to find out, or at least know, as a voyeur at this point, is how your fashion style influences your interior.
I think it's because I'm just a creative. Just like the fashion, I just create. I just design the prints. That filters through what I do in my space. I love color. Whether it's like black and white, I just love this graphic. It's just me expressing myself. I just love to be free and just play with it.
And of course we'd see a lot of patterns in your space, but what's also really personally or kind of striking is the bold colors, as you mentioned. How did you choose between kind of balancing this monochromatic space with making your color choices?
I think I just wanted to find a way to compromise. I love the black and white, but yellow is my favorite color. So I looked at how does one space live within that black and white, because even the pictures on the wall fall within that black and white sort of like theme. But with this one, I wanted to give it the color. I wanted to be the happy Mzu. Like this is just me. Right.
Would you say that you're a private person or public? Like who comes to kind of consume this space? Before I ask my next question.
It's interesting. I'm a private person because I'm very reserved, but in the same time, I host a lot. I always have like my friends over, but I'm very selective as to the type of people that get to access my space.
Right, because the space really feels true to brand for me. Do you know, there's artwork that references your work, that celebrates you in a way. Let's talk about the art choices and some of the interesting things that you've kind of left around the space for your audience to consume.
I think the art pieces also connect to Imprint as a brand. I wanted it to sort of like feel like it's an exhibition of my work within my space, because I kind of love that I'm a fashion designer, but I also want to be in the interior space. So the artwork that you see is shoots that we've done, most of the iconic favorite shoots. So it's basically that idea, my work living within my space.
Right, a lot of self-love and a bit of community. In kind of pulling the space together, what are the things that you wanted to achieve as an entertainer, particularly here in the dining room, before we move off to the living room?
With the dining room, I wanted a space where my people can, because I love that intimate space. I didn't want to like we can connect here, we can eat, and also I cook a lot. So it just works out that my people get to come to my space, enjoy my cooking, we get to conversate, and then moving to the living space, that's where I usually have my games night. There's a lot that happens in this space.
Now, having a look at the two spaces for me, what's really interesting here is that you've worked with black accents and just kind of seeing what happens in the living room in terms of like the color scheme and how that kind of complements each other. Can you take me through that?
So with this space, it started with the black and white because I wanted it to be that. But we've recently created a few pieces which I wanted to sort of like incorporate within that black and white, sort of like how to incorporate these new colors from our homeware range within the black and white. Because I know a lot of people love the muted tones, they love the simplicity of the black and whites or your tan colors. So it's interesting to see that beautiful pop-up color living within the black and white.
And your choice to have a textured couch against a white wall, is there any reason why, you know, that's kind of not a specific dominant color? Because it really works well together.
It just worked with the white walls. I wanted to keep it, again, simple. I love the idea of being able to sort of like change smaller pieces. Like I can change the cushions with the white base. It creates a new feel, a new, like it just exchange or transform the space again. But with changing the color of the couch, that's a lot. I don't want to commit to a color.
Quite honestly, it feels like to me quite consistently sort of flush with the wall, and it brings your cushions forward no matter what color they are. Absolutely correct, and how it celebrates your art. But more than anything, the thing that draws my attention, and I feel like you kind of made space for it to stand out, are the statement pieces, which for me is that couch plus the rug. Can you tell us about the two items?
So these two pieces are sort of like my favorite right now. They come from my latest collection called Ikaya. So with that, it has the vintage element to it. I wanted to go back home. Like, I just wanted a piece that reminded me of how my mom's house looked like. So it has the element of imprint, but it still feels like home. It still takes me back home, and the print itself, it's my signature. So yeah, it just makes sense.
It's absolutely gorgeous, and as kind of a reddish statement, it really does well, plus the lines kind of being lush. So I took a little sneak peek into the bedrooms and kind of looking at what the consistency was between the spaces, and I'd love for us to go there. But as we make our way, I wanted to find out from you, you know, like you attract quite a lot of celebrities and kind of artists and musicians. Boy, do we love designers. For you, what were the kinds of sort of like people that you've dressed, or what was signature or a highlight for you, and why?
I've worked with a lot of amazing artists, but there's, I think if I were to select two, I would go for Simphiwe Dana. Simphiwe is such a beautiful part of my journey to becoming the designer that I am right now. So the other one has to be Lerato Singadi. What Lerato does, she carries imprint beautifully, and she can carry any imprint garment. Again, for me, I love working with someone where the energy just flows.
Now, talking about energy, these windows are doing the most for this entire space. Like, what a lucky find on this apartment. But other than that, like, how have you tried to kind of keep the spaces talking to each other consistently?
I think just the art element of it carrying through. So when you walk into the space, you kind of still connect with the idea that you are walking into a space that has fashion elements incorporated in the interior space. And also, again, just the simplicity and the clean lines, which I love. You also see the white, which carries on from the living space. You see the black and white. So it just communicates. space.
Right. And I know that you kind of like live in the space, and it's great. I get the feeling that you enjoy it quite a bit.
I do a lot.
Love the greenery, love the kind of placements of things. What did you dominantly want to achieve with some of the layout and the elements that you've added in the different rooms?
I think more than anything, my background in fashion and being driven by how things sort of like visually appeal and photograph, I think it inspired how I got to choose the layout of this bedroom. There's this cleanness, and also there's exciting places where if you look to your right, you see a piece that's exciting. You see something that like it just takes you. You see beauty and excitement everywhere.
Let's talk about how you're lifting these patterns into textures, though, because I find that that curtain, for instance, had such an undertone of silver, and we can talk about this throw as well, and other elements, how you're choosing your textures to like lift that pattern.
With that specific piece, I felt like people are familiar with the print. I fell in love with the idea of having something metallic, because we never see that, especially when you infuse prints, because prints are usually in your natural fabrics, something flat. So with this one, I wanted to play with the knit, something that's classic, something
tight
that
knit.
because people also love that. It gets to be part of your everyday life.
Right. Beautiful choices in your space, and I think it's definitely about those choices and something else that I spotted as a choice for you.
Okay.
Is your ceramics, your love for ceramics, particularly right there in that kitchen.
Yeah.
Should we take a walk there?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. There is this one thing that I did want to ask you, just kind of snooping through this corridor and all these hats.
Yeah.
What is that one accessory that you love to sort of finish off, you know, your outfits with, and particularly your own clothes? In fact, it doesn't even have to be one because you're a designer.
It's always the shades and the hat. It became my signature in a way. That's basically my vibe.
Right.
Futuristic.
Now talk about futuristic. This kitchen and all the crockery and the cutlery feels a bit futuristic too. Lots of accents and lots of textures that you're playing with your ceramics.
I think it also inspired me in a way when I found the space and it wasn't your most modern kitchen.
Yeah.
I wanted to sort of like elevate the space, also bringing in an element of what I do in fashion, the unexpected, the different, and I think I just collected different pieces to just give the space life.
I mean, to tie it all up, it does give a lot of visual interest, and I feel that you really made sure that you bring in some color in here. Other than that, thank you so much for having us here. I think it's just been so a beautiful marriage. You know, I'm so glad to have finally met you as well and find out who the face is behind Imprint. An inspiringly creative take on his work and his home. Now coming up next, we have some feature wall ideas that we found on social media, and we're going to give you the tips and the tricks on how to bring these to life in your own home. Social media is buzzing with trends and ideas, but how do we bring these ideas into our own home? Well, we've got you covered, and we'll help you navigate how you can take the leap from inspiration to installation. On the trends agenda today is feature walls, a good way to bring visual interest into your home and create a focal point. Wall murals can be customized to suit different styles and preferences by incorporating various elements such as color, pattern, and images. This can bring a great sense of dimension and texture. Geometric shapes are an easy way to bring in a pattern on a feature wall using masking tape and paint, and you can create any artistic pattern using angles. There are several types of accent walls that are commonly used in interior design. These include painted accent walls, which are the most common type, where a single wall is painted in a contrasting color to create a focal point in a room. Wallpaper can be used to create a bold and unique accent wall with various patterns, textures, or designs. Textured walls using materials like reclaimed wood, brick, stone, or 3D panels. These walls add depth, character, and a tactile element to the room. Tiled walls can be used in bathrooms, kitchens, or other areas. They can be arranged in various patterns, colors, or textures as well. Adding fabric to walls also brings a sense of texture, warmth, and softness to a room. They can be created using fabric panels, tapestries, or wall hangings. Art walls also create a gallery-type feel within a home, using collections of fine art, photographs, or decorative items. It also adds personality, visual interest, and tells a real personal story. Here's another interesting idea using wooden slats. And what's really nice about this idea is that you can play with the width of the wooden planks as well as the depth in order to place some of your ornaments and plants. One last idea for today is using the very same wooden slats to create a sophisticated look and feel by creating a wooden paneled effect. Wall paneling has become very popular in interior design. You can buy ready-made wall panels or create your own. Raw wood looks beautiful against a plain cutted wall, or you can paint the strips for a more unified plain finish. This is also a great way to add depth to a space using color, light, and shadow. Bringing in a feature wall in your home is a simple but exciting way that you can enhance your home. Now, in just a moment, we'll be taking a look at a beautiful and bespoke home designed by Cameron Collectives. How do you create a home that isn't just another showroom, but rather a bold expression of who you are? This next home shows us how bold pieces can stand apart cohesively.
A glamorous yet comfortable home, designed with the intention to bring in the bold, playful, and sophisticated character of the client. The design of this apartment is quite unique, as it features custom pieces and bold shapes that stand out but also fit into the space as functional. Though the decor items don't match, they create the same mood in each space.
So the client's vision for the space, she's a young single businesswoman. She's also a very fun, bubbly person. It's really lovely working with her. So we wanted to create a space that was glamorous, but it had to be approachable and comfortable for it to work in. So we are working with a lot of bright colors, with vibrant colors. We're mixing a lot of textures, and we're bringing in an element of luxury, but it's very approachable.
Though the home may be compact, we can clearly see a connection between the kitchen, dining, and living area, which has been made to create the illusion of a larger space. There is also a creative use of large decor items, which brings vibrance to the home without overwhelming it. And the variety of custom pieces in the home are strategically placed to bring character without clutter.
We custom designed the dining room table, which is this beautiful pull shape, and we had that cast in a concrete. The base is like two very heavy metal plinths and with this pull shape on top. And then the dining room chairs again, we brought in vibrancy with the velvet and we went for a green, and she responded really well to the green. I think it just sort of brightens that whole space up. So when it came to the living room, how we put it together is we started with a neutral sort of a palette, and then we started introducing interesting items. For instance, there's an armchair down there that we did in a very exciting fabric. It's a bold print.
The custom pieces each present a unique style, but they've also been especially designed to complement each other. We notice this in items like the floating wall cabinet, which has a blush pink color that matches the soft and bright tones of the armchair. This aligns so well with the feminine look and feel that is glamorized by the touches of gold and unique textures such as the fur and hand-beaded cushions on the sofa.
Because this is a compact space, the client works from home as well. So we doubled up her guest bedroom here as a study and a home office for her. We designed this beautiful custom desk for her, and instead of just doing a normal desk leg and a wood top, we did a beautiful oak drawer unit, but on the legs we inserted a stone in there. I mean, it makes it such an unusual piece, and it's very unique and brings in a lot of depth and texture into it. I also introduced one of my mirrors on the wall there, which is in this beautiful olive green, and it's got these gold knobs on it. It's oversized, it's fun, and it brings in a touch of sort of glamour into the space.
Keeping in line with the theme of vibrant, bubbly, and bold, the design showcases geometric and abstract patterns which appear in items such as the artwork, scatter cushions, and the wine rack.
So what I think is the most special about the house is all the bespoke items we did for her. So these are elements they're really special and unique to the client and to the space. No one has a lot of these pieces, so they really encompass her and her vision and my vision for the project. And we created it specifically for her to create something special for her, and that really, I think, is the core of the project.
Small and bold may seem like an intimidating combination that could get out of hand. But as seen in the beautiful design of this apartment, one can definitely achieve a luxurious yet comfortable look, even when using unique pieces that stand out in the same space.
What a dreamy and lush interior. We want to take the time to thank Lane Reeves of Metaphor Design for hosting us in her beautiful home today, and also thank you for joining us for our very first installment of Design for You Trends. Till our next adventure of sharing ideas of how you can turn your dream home into reality.